he accidentally exposed the pump and dump crypto scams that he promoted.
I'm holding my Luna, my XCAD.
Series of transactions from KSI's wallet were starting on March 27th when he sent that tweet. KSI started selling XCAD, which is kind of the definition of a pump and dump.
2 months ago, KSI walked away from the Sidemen, and in doing so, he proved exactly why Coffeezilla was right about him. Because back in 2024, Coffeezilla put him under the microscope, and his actual accusation was that KSI has enormous influence, refuses to accept responsibility for how he uses it, and treats anyone who points that out as a hater with an agenda. And everyone spent that entire year arguing about the coins and missed what was actually sitting in front of their faces all along. Because a couple months ago, he blindsided 6 people he'd spent 13 years with, told the world he needed time for his family, and then proceeded to spend the following weeks explaining why he's bigger, and better than all of them anyway. So let's go back through what Coffeezilla actually said, because every single thing he identified is exactly what we're watching play out right now. And the pattern was already there long before the crypto ever came up, starting with the Tommy Fury fight in October 2023. The result was genuinely close. Fury had a point deducted for hitting the back of KSI's head, and 2 of 3 judges scored it by just 1 point, so there was at least some real argument to be had about it. But KSI didn't see it that way.
KSI, your thoughts after that robbery? It's a robbery, bro. How many jobs did he land? How many jobs did you land? You didn't get hardly any shots off. And you got a point off as well.
I'll tell you one thing. He can land 2 right hands around, but I was pushing the pace, I was throwing the shots, and I was the one put with it.
Being annoyed right in the moment after a close decision goes against you is a completely normal reaction. But KSI didn't stop there.
In terms of the Tommy Fury fight, I feel like I've come out better. Way better than he has. Like, I would much rather be in my position than his. I mean, it's nice to know that my fight with Tommy Fury will be the biggest fight he will ever have in his life. Even if he fights anyone else, no one is gonna care.
And when downplaying Tommy's win didn't get him anywhere, he went after him personally instead.
To be honest, Tommy Fury has been pretty embarrassing these parts. From him being with Chris Brown, having 0 rhythm, looking hella awkward, to him attempting to dance with Tion Wayne, to whatever this clip is. All Molly May's looking after his kid at home.
That's a guy who can't let a loss just be a loss. And viewers noticed the shift immediately, with comments pointing out that watching him handle defeat made his brother Deji's old criticism of his ego finally click for people. And this pattern of deflecting instead of accepting fault was about to show up somewhere with a lot more at stake than a boxing scorecard. Which brings us to the video this whole thing is really about. In February 2024, investigator Coffeezilla published a piece accusing KSI of pump and dumping crypto coins.
Accidentally exposed the pump and dump crypto scams that he promoted. They've been hidden for 2 years, but only came out when KSI logged back into his old Twitter account, saying, "Does this still work?" Now, if you didn't know, this is KSI's crypto account where he used to talk about crypto coins he liked, but he messed up because one investigator has been waiting for him to return to the scene of the crime. And that person is not me. It's Zach XBT, a crypto investigator.
Let's be real. The investigation is seriously detailed, and it's worth breaking down what it actually uncovered. KSI had publicly claimed he was all in on a coin called XCAD, throwing around terms like being part of the HODL gang. But here's the thing. Records revealed he sold around $850,000 worth of XCAD, and get this, it started the very same day he posted about being part of the HODL gang.
Many people, including myself, hadn't seen anything from KSI to this point that seemed shady. But Zach had been waiting for this moment. He goes on, "Remember when KSI posted this? All of a sudden, my XCAD bag is looking juicy again. HODL gang then proceeded to dump $850,000 worth of XCAD over the following days from his wallet address."
And this isn't a just case of someone reading too much into a vague Twitter post, because the wallet activity is public and the dates line up exactly.
Also shared a picture as proof. Series of transactions from KSI's wallet were starting on March 27th when he sent that tweet. KSI started selling XCAD. The same day he tweeted he was part of the HODL gang, slang for someone who wouldn't sell this crypto coin, right? In fact, that wasn't the only time KSI has mentioned this holding stance publicly.
I'm holding my bags. I'm holding my Luna, my XCAD.
Videos like this are why people genuinely thought KSI was just buying and holding, but he wasn't.
So Coffeezilla went to KSI directly for an explanation before publishing any of it.
HODL gang, LMAO. Sold some profit, as well as my own money, to put into Luna, thinking I would profit more to buy back more XCAD, and took a major L. Still fully believe in XCAD, the ability to earn from watching content. Honestly, you should talk to Redacted. He's very excited about this project. I never left crypto. I've just been watching it from the shadows. It's kind of hard to leave when you've invested so many years into it. He then shared a personal account screenshot showing that he does have some XCAD still held. It doesn't really change the core accusation of whether he pumped and dumped his fame.
And his response was that he'd taken a loss and sold some to reinvest elsewhere. Not that he planned any of it. Whether you buy that or not, the pattern didn't stop at one coin.
Then I got another message, which changed everything from Zach. He said, I have one more KSI example with a different coin. Turns out on March 20th, 2021, KSI tweeted this. 2 NFT coins I'm very bullish on, Super and Earn. Any other NFTs I should look at? Now, normally when you're bullish on a coin, you buy that coin. But that's not what KSI did. See, right after he tweeted that, 6 hours later, he sold $174,000 worth of Earn token. And then 4 hours later, sells another $174,000. Now, if that isn't a textbook pump and dump, I don't know what.
This time, KSI publicly said he was bullish on a coin called Earn, and within 10 hours of that post, he'd sold roughly $348,000 worth of it. And 2 separate coins with 2 nearly identical patterns of public confidence followed by a quiet sell-off is a much harder coincidence to just brush away.
I don't really remember the details of every transaction I made. These were coins I put my own money in, thinking they would do well. I would listen to what people said on Twitter and just follow stuff. I invested in Doge, etc. I didn't have malicious intent in trying to scam. I was new to crypto, so I was excited, putting money in random things and trying to chase the pumps, and ultimately lost heavily. I hope people didn't take advice or tweets as gold, because looking back at my track record, I was effing dog shit. I wish I was an evil genius that would pump and dump at the right time, because then at least people would say that I had some wit about me. Reality is I was just at crypto.
But the explanation he went with for the gap between his posts and his trades is where it really falls apart.
I said as much. I said, I'm just trying to understand why you traded the opposite way that you were saying on Twitter. And KSI replied this, because I thought I was getting trolled. Honestly, every time I tweeted something, the opposite would happen on the market. So I decided to tweet the opposite of what I was actually doing and still took an L. He thought the market was against him, so he publicly said one thing while privately, secretly doing the opposite, which is kind of the definition of a pump and dump when you promote that to a big...
I don't know about you, but to me, that looks exactly like a pump and dump scheme. And it didn't stop there.
Meanwhile, though, while I was confronting KSI, I heard a final response from Zach XBT, which he said, I found another example. See, on May 11, 2021, KSI Crypto tweeted, this is about to explode. Only moments later, though, he sold $25,000. Didn't buy it, which I get it. It's a relatively small amount, but it furthers that same pattern of behavior.
Some fans came to his defense, and one even ended up publishing a 38-page document, arguing he was just a bad trader who'd lost money himself, not someone deliberately scamming anyone.
That, like, if a public influencer with a lot of followers promote something and they say they're bullish, they say they're excited, they say they're HODL gang, and they sell, that's a pump and dump.
Whether KSI traded with actual malicious intent is genuinely unclear, and that distinction matters. But here's the part everyone skipped past at the time, and it's the whole reason this video exists.
With him, the volume calculation I had done based on an aggregate of a bunch of different crypto exchanges showing that XCAD's volume went up. Because one thing he told me, he's like, look, I hope people didn't actually take my tweets. And I said, this is XCAD trading volume. The red arrows are right after you tweeted, people dumped in money. Trading volume spiked by millions of dollars multiple times. Whether or not you realize it, you have insane influence more than most celebrities. Wielding it like this is bad, whether or not you have ill intention.
That's the actual thesis of the whole investigation. And it reaches a long way past crypto. Because Coffeezilla's point was that KSI wields more influence than he's willing to be accountable for, and that the damage happens regardless of whether or not he meant it. He even showed KSI the trading data proving the scale of his impact, and KSI's response to the hard evidence was to simply paint the entire investigation as a clout-chasing attack rather than engage with a single part of it.
Well, honestly, it's kind of mad how Coffeezilla has made not one, not two, but 3 videos on me. And I haven't even responded.
And when he did finally engage with it, The argument he reached for was his own bank balance.
No, why would I scam? I've turned down millions and millions and millions of deals. Like tens of millions of me to do, I don't know, some gambling stuff. So why would I go on crypto and pump and dump for what?
But being rich enough that you didn't need the money isn't the best defense against having done it, because there's plenty of examples in today's world proving that to some people there's no such thing as having too much money. And his own fans picked that gap apart in the comments almost instantly. But that wasn't the last time his partnership with Logan Paul would cause damage to his fans, because in September 2024, KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast launched a children's food product called Lunchly, marketed as the healthier alternative to Lunchables.
Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar. Whoa. Feastables Crunch Bar. Yeah! Our pizza uses real cheese. Theirs, as it says on their box, is mozzarella pasteurized prepared cheese product. They can't even call it real.
But people were skeptical of the pitch immediately, given who was behind it and what else was in the box.
This is what I said. Looks like crap to me, while showing his toys that he sold to kids. How does this benefit your fans, Dan? Now, obviously, people didn't realize that I was shining a mirror in his face. Instead, they were like,
wait, you did the same as Dan. You made toys with Tube Heroes.
And yes, that's fair. But I'm not the one.
DanTDM has built over a decade of trust with a young audience specifically by not doing things like this. So the tweet spread fast and hit hard, and the backlash aimed at Lunchly, and everyone behind it was immediate.
Sponsored, then promoted, and made a whole video on Munch Pack, a monthly sub box full of food and candy to his Minecraft audience full of kids. His fans imploded. Some just decided just to be racist. When a knicker like KSI does nothing in life and still gets paid for it in something other than welfare or food stamps, it's noteworthy. It's like how monkeys in the jungle have started to understand the concept of...
His defense was that Dan had sold food products to kids before too, so he tried to paint him as some sort of hypocrite. But pointing at someone else's past mistake doesn't actually answer the question being asked about his own product. And some of the backlash aimed at Dan crossed a real line too, with a portion of KSI's own fans responding to the criticism with outright racist attacks against him. That's a genuinely ugly turn for a disagreement about lunch snacks to take, and it's worth naming as its own separate failure.
Where was the same energy when Ryan Trahan released sweets? Where was the same energy when FaZe Rog released sweets? I'm not seeing people going crazy towards them on Twitter. You know why? I've realized why. It's because people just hate us. People just hate us. People hate Logan Paul, okay? They hate Mr. Beast, and they hate...
Chalking down the criticism to haters gonna hate, instead of the actually reflecting, is a childish way of looking at the whole situation. And the video ended up with over 200,000 dislikes, with viewers not at all shy about pointing out the difference between confidence and genuine self-awareness. And things got even worse when Dr. Mike stepped in to actually look at the nutritional facts of the Lunchly products.
What I was able to conclude is that Lunchly has less sugar and therefore less calories than Lunchables in comparable kits. That's probably due to the drink component of the kit, as Capri Sun uses sugar and Prime is artificially sweetened. Lunchly has significantly more potassium than Lunchables because of the Prime drink, which I guess is good, but not something I'd regularly use in deciding if a food is an ideal lunch for a kid. But the entirety of the kit is still considered an ultra-processed.
His conclusion was genuinely mixed, not the win either side wanted. Lunchly does have less sugar than Lunchables, but that's largely because of the Prime drink swapped in for Capri Sun. But the whole kit is still an ultra-processed meal by his standard, and by no means is it healthy in any way.
Kids need energy to function, and calories give them that energy. Lunchly turkey contains only 230 calories, which would mean a kid would need to eat about 2.7 portions to consume enough calories. And if they did that, they'd get nearly 1,300 milligrams of sodium, which is also significantly over the USDA standards. It's clear Lunchly, just like Lunchables, misses the mark too many times to be considered meaningfully healthier, at least in my opinion.
Because a kid would need to eat nearly 3 portions to hit a reasonable calorie count, and at that point, they'd also be well over the daily recommended sodium limit. So less sugar than the competitor isn't the same thing as an actually healthy lunch, and that's the gap KSI kept skipping past in every response. Barely a week after the Lunchley backlash started dying down, KSI released a new single called Thick of It, and it went badly in a completely different way.
If the whole thing was different, it would be better, right? Fantastic. This was literally my top comment. If anything, it's actually the most liked comment on the fucking music video. It's got more likes than my actual music video. A comment! 202,000 likes on this comment. Why aren't you liking the video?
The song itself went over just as badly as the marketing, picking up over 1 million dislikes on YouTube. And what's even funnier is that the most liked comment under the video ended up with more likes than the song itself, which KSI wasn't too pleased with.
New song is straight fire if you were to listen to it on f***ing mute. I am being 100% deadass when I say this. This is one of the worst songs I've ever f***ing heard in my life. Wait till you see the music video. All my ops getting it. You're not ready. Bro, who exactly are your fucking ops? DanTDM?
That's about as clear a verdict as the internet can hand down. And getting asked about it live on stream didn't go much better for him.
What do you want to happen? What do you it's already out. Your song's already a meme. What do you want to happen now? I
just wanted to stop. I wanted to stop. I want people to stop making fun of my song.
I understand, man.
You don't fucking understand because you haven't released a song before. Imagine putting your heart and soul into a project and then release it into the world and everyone's going, ha ha, ass. Trash! From the screen to the ring to the pen to the king. I'm literally talking about every aspect in my...
Telling someone they are not allowed an opinion unless they've personally done the thing being criticized is a genuinely convenient way to rule out almost everyone who might disagree with you. And months later, he was still tweeting about being tired of the hate, which tells you the song never actually stopped following him around. So every single one of these, the fight, the crypto, the Lunchley rant, the song meltdown, follows the exact same shape. Because something goes wrong, the criticism is fair, and instead of sitting with it, KSI turns it into a fight with whoever brought it up. Which brings us back to the Sidemen, because he left a group he'd been part of for 13 years and let the other 6 find out the same way the audience did, then spent the next 2 months comparing himself to Harry Styles, arguing that he personally outviews the rest of them combined, and announcing he needs to be bigger than Mr. Beast in speed. And when the backlash came, the response was the same one it's always been, that people are just hating on him. And Coffeezilla's actual point was that KSI has more influence than he's willing to be accountable for, and that he'd rather go after the person opposing him than actually reflect on his actions. And 2 years later, 6 of his closest friends found that out the hard way. So here's the real question. Was Coffeezilla actually right about KSI all along, or is being this bad at handling criticism just the price of being that famous for that long? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, smack the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you in the next one.